invading my privacy, Kyle.
Oh, Reva, can you be happy like this?
I thought we'd reached an understanding on the bridge.
We reached a dead end on the bridge. I won't live like that.
Keep away from me.
Reva, does it have to be life and death for us to talk? Please, hear me out.
Turn your back. Okay. You can turn around now. Now, what do you want, Kyle?
Reva, we're going to love each other forever. That's what we said on the bridge. I've always found a way not to have everything, but to have what's right for me. Reva, you are right for me.
Go away, Kyle. You're talking about hurting people. That's out.
I intend to live up to all my responsibilities, Reva. I take care of the people that I love, and if I love you more than anybody else, then I've got to take care of you.
Forget me. That'll take care of both of us.
I can't. I've tried, but it doesn't work. It won't work for you either.
Well, I'll think of something. Don't worry about that.
Reva, I have an idea. An answer. Listen to me.
Two minutes.
The problem is that we love each other, but we can't be together without making other people unhappy.
End of story.
The solution is that we find a time and a place.
That's called a fantasy, Kyle. Go home. I want to go to bed.
Treasure Moon. Have you ever heard of that?
No. Sounds like a book.
That's right, it does, doesn't it? Most people haven't heard of it. It's not even on most maps.
What is it?
There are 700 islands in the Bahamas, James, and a few years ago, I bought one.
So you want to go run off and play in the waves?
And in the sand. And in the moonlight.
And when the locals recognize us?
There are no locals.
So it's just you and me and a little grass hut.
I'll build us a house, Reva. I'll build us the perfect house.
You're serious?
Yes. Once a year, we go to Treasure Moon and have 24 hours in which we can love each other and forget about the rest of the world.
Well, it's a pretty idea, but impossible.
One day, one night, once a year.
And nobody's gonna notice when the two of us drop off the face of the earth at the same time?
No, they wouldn't. We travel separately. We have our separate lives here. Reva, this way, I can give 100% of myself to my wife and to my child and to my work, knowing that in some corner of my mind, I've got this to hold on to. The same thing can be true for you. You said in the bridge that you can't stop loving me. This is the way that you and I and the people that we care about can be happy.
No.
Yes. We will say yes.
Once I say yes, we'll never be free of each other.
We're not free of each other now.
And what about the rest of my life?
Live it. And leave one day a year for us together.
I couldn't forget that if I lived forever.
working with Reva.
I thought you were going to show yourself out.
I was. I didn't.
Has he been bothering you, Reva?
No, not really. But I'm glad you're here, HB.
In that case, I'll say goodnight.
It's high time you did.
Think about what I said, Reva. I meant every word of it.
I couldn't do that, Kyle.
I'll come back and talk with you when you're free to think for yourself.
Are you all right? All right, darling?
I don't know.
You're trembling. What was he after, anyway?
HB.
What's the problem?
Well, he has a lot on his mind. The Sampson Industrial Show's on Friday, and Mabe's away.
There was more than that going on in this room. But I won't press, darling.
It's nice to be with someone who's not judging me all the time.
I'm willing to listen, though, if you want to talk.
I could use a cooler head. Kyle wants us to see each other away from Springfield. Once a year.
Does he really?
The rest of the time, we would lead our separate lives here in Springfield, but that one day would be like a vacation away from real life.
You think you could do that?
I sure felt like I could when he was talking.
I got the idea you were turning him down.
Well, I said no. I just don't know whether I meant it.
Having a hard time listening to your own good sense, are you?
It's just that the way he described it, it almost seemed reasonable. Nobody would know about it, so nobody would be hurt.
That could turn into a shortcut to trouble.
I know. But I couldn't stop listening to him. I wanted him to convince me. Sometimes I scare myself to death. I couldn't just settle for one day. If I ran off with Kyle, I would be writing him notes. I'd be finding ways to bump into him, and I couldn't do that. HB, I would be breaking up a family. And if I did that, I don't know whether I could live with myself.
You wouldn't do that, darling. And when Kyle's thinking straight, he wouldn't ask you to. It might be a sweet deal for a married man to have a romance on the side. But you'd be left waiting around like the other woman. That ain't right. And Kyle would figure that out.
He said I'd have a life of my own.
Reva, you are a one-man woman. Dreaming about Kyle can only keep you from finding someone else to love.
You're right.
I can't say I blame the man for doing what he's trying to do, but it is dead wrong for you.
No. I'm better off alone.
Well, there are other people besides Kyle you can turn to. It's time you let us help you.
Fine. You want to dump a bucket of cold water over me so I'll cool off?
Lots of folks favor cold water, but I always went drilling for oil when I was all hot and bothered. Hey, there's a whole gym around here designed to wear you down and build you up. Why don't you start a fitness program?
It's a great substitute for love. Think I'll try it.
Atta girl.
I'll meet you down here first thing in the morning for a little road work.
Me? I'm not the one who's in love around here.
Well, of course you are, Harlan. You're in love with food. I figure we can jog 4 or 5 miles before breakfast.
Reva Shane, I'd do just about anything for you, but you may have just gone over the damn line.
Oh, no, I haven't, Harlan. You promised me that you were going to help me. Now, if I'm going to build up my resistance, I'm going to need all the help I can get.
Alfredo, any word from Maeve yet?
No, sir. No word of any kind.
She should have checked in by now. I hope she's feeling all right.
Perhaps you might call her, sir.
Well, I hadn't wanted to interrupt her at her parents', but it's time I found out what's going on.
assistance?
This is Kyle Sampson calling. May I speak with Maeve, please?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. There's no one here.
Who's this?
Oh, it's Bridget, sir. Mrs. Stoddard's maid.
I don't think we've met. I'm Maeve's husband.
Oh, yes, sir. We all know you.
Where is everybody?
They were driving down from the Adirondacks today, but they've not arrived yet.
I see. Leave a message, please, that I'll be arriving in the morning.
Tomorrow morning, and they'll be expecting you.
Alfredo, pack a bag for me. Have Vic get the jet ready. I'm going to take a trip to New York in the morning. I'm going to pay a visit to my in-laws, maybe take Maeve to the theater, and then bring my wife back where she belongs.